All right, Bob, Chick, we are here at the Arnold Classic 2015 edition. I'm here with David, Shawn, and Peter. Just got wrapped up in prejudging Bikini, starting everything off. David, what a great lineup.
Yeah, it was, we had Ashley Kaltwasser, Miss Olympia in there, Sarah LeBlanc, Janet Leyu, Justine Monroe, Narman,
Narman. We had everybody in there.
Paulina. It was a really good lineup. I mean, most of the girls that we saw at the Olympia.
Well, Peter, I know you're a expert when it comes to bikini. How'd you see that one going down?
I just saw it Justine Monroe all the way, right from the get-go. She's the one girl that I would put on a cover out of all of them. Not that those shouldn't be on a cover, but she would the standout. I just saw her as the winner.
Sugar Shawn, you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, she looks like a woman. I mean, she's complete from head to toe. I'm trying to find something wrong with her, especially up there with Ashley Kaltwasser, who's done a very good job as as Bikini Olympia. Sure. But today, Justine is from head to toe. I just kept coming back to Justine.
Justine was good. I got to be honest, man. My girl Janet Leyu, that's tough to beat, man. Come on. Where's the love?
Janet, runner-up at the Olympia, that's who I had picked as the winner as well. Now, she was a little bit leaner than some of the other girls, and one of the things you'll notice about Janet when you watch the video is her tie-in between her delts and her shoulders pops a little bit more than some of the other girls. Now, for the bikini division, it might be a tad much, but if I'm going with somebody that I'm going to put on a cover, not that I'm ever going to get to pick a cover, but the people at Hooters International agree with me. I got to go with Janet. For as big of a fan as I am of Ashley Kaltwasser, I'm going with Janet all the way for bikini. But as they had things lined up, they kept Justine in the middle the whole time. So Peter might be right on this one.
What do you think, Peter? Hooters on the cover, always a good idea?
Justine Monroe was the winner. 65 years of watching women, 3 prison sentences for it. I know what I'm talking about. Justine Monroe is the winner.
I think he said you don't know what you're talking about, David.
I've been to a lot of shows over the last 2.5 years, so I focus on bikinis.
You can't compete with this. You can't compete with Peter. You better sit there and just watch the rest of this here. But all right, listen, we got the guys out there. No surprises here really in the top 4. I think everybody pretty much predicted these 4 guys are going to be out there, and of course that was the first call. It was only 3 guys: Dexter Jackson, Justin Compton, Branch Warren.
Sure.
Every guy had something going for him.
Yeah, well, coming in, one of the guys to watch out was Cedric McMillan. We just wanted to know what was going on with him. So far off the radar. Justin Compton came in here. He delivered. But he looked like a young guy up there next to the mature Dexter Jackson. I think Dexter's going to make history here tonight. I'm going out on a limb. I've got Dexter going for number 5. I think he's just more athletic looking when he stands there next to Branch, who's like, the blue collar, Jay Cutler type body. Yeah. And we know that Dexter beat somebody like Jay Cutler. So I'm going with Dexter at 45 years old as a 5-time champion with Branch as the runner-up.
All right, Peter, how you seeing that one? Again, those 3 guys, Cedric McMillan added towards the end of prejudging into that mix. I thought rightfully, definitely belonged up there, but seemed like the odd man out at 4th. How'd you see 1, 2, and 3?
Well, I thought it was a battle between Justin and Dexter with, Branch and Cedric away there. The last call out confused me because that could have been, Cedric and Justin next to each other. Was it for 2nd? I'm not sure. Was it for 4th? I mean, I'll be very surprised if it is. It looks like Branch could be higher than I think. I just think Justin brought something today. He obviously can be better, can be a bit tighter, but that frame, that structure, from certain shots, back double biceps from the back, the delts, everything down to the calves, narrow waist, great. I mean, the problem he had was just in the midsection, not so much that it was smoothish, the lower section, but and Dexter had it at the beginning, but Dexter was so much bigger and thicker than we've seen him, so he worked for it. Whoever gets it worked for it.
Well, David, every guy seemed to have a plus and a minus. Could you make a case for any one of those 4 guys?
I'm going to say no. I think I agree with Peter on this one. I taking advice from Peter, when it gets this close between these guys, I like to do the same thing that he's recommended when I'm watching the shows and go pose for pose. Who wins the front double bicep? Who wins each pose? And if I'm going by that, who wins each pose, if I have to pick a winner, I'm going with Dexter Jackson. He's a little bit more polished than Justin. Justin's structure is really imposing on that stage. So, I mean, he hits that back double bicep. Again, not as polished as Dexter, not as grainy and nasty as Branch, although Justin's hams and his glutes from the back were probably the best on that stage. But he's so wide, so he's very imposing. Branch Warren, I'll say this 100 times on camera. Before I had an opportunity to cover these shows, I was not much of a Branch Warren fan, and I was the same as a lot of guys are going to be on the forums where, oh, he doesn't have the shape, he doesn't have this. I'm telling you guys, you have to see him in person, and even sitting at the back of a show versus being in the first handful of rows. Branch just brings a graininess and this dense muscle that you just don't see with the other guys. I think you'll probably see Branch in third place. Cedric looked really good. Great structure, huge frame, potential to be the winner. Yes, he wasn't as tight in the hamstrings and the glutes as Justin or Dexter, and obviously not as grainy as Branch was. But as far as making an argument for any one of these guys as a winner, again, I don't think that's something we can really do. I think you can make an argument for Dexter or for Justin based on a pose-by-pose comparison. But if I have to go with the top two, those are my guys.
Well, Peter, definitely a good guy to get the right advices from. He would never lead you in the wrong direction. Sugar Shawn, let's work our way down the lineup. Obviously, we're projecting those three guys up in that top three slots tonight. We'll see if Dexter gets the nod. This will be history for Dexter. This show has to mean a lot to him. He can break the record held by Flex Wheeler. He holds with Flex Wheeler. More importantly, at 45 years old, and certainly closer to the end of his career than the beginning, how important is this show to Dexter Jackson?
Well, I mean, I know he wants the exclamation point on his career, separate himself from Flex Wheeler and that tied for the history in the four. He's done everything. He's won the trifecta. He's won the Olympia, the Masters Olympia, and this would be number 5 if he walks with this. He's got a title in every country that we've ever held a bodybuilding show in. Arguably a first ballot Hall of Fame bodybuilder. Dexter surprised me with the longevity of his career. But the other guys that you wanted to talk about, really there's nothing to say. Rolly Winkler missed his peak. He looks weeks away from competition. Evan Sinapani still has to bring those legs up, get more muscularity, more thickness. Ben Pekulski did not deliver. He's got a lot of work to do. Brandon Curry looked like a very small bodybuilder up there against men. And after that, Lionel Biecki, a lot of disappointments after those guys. There's nothing to really talk about. And it is an invitation, and those guys have a lot of shows that they can continue dieting for. We're headed to Australia next week. But right now, there's about 4 guys on this stage that we need to talk about, and we mentioned them: Justin, Justin, Cedric, and Branch and Dexter.
Well, Peter, let me ask you now. We saw obviously a lot of videos leading up, a lot of pictures coming out. Everybody looked like a beast. Of course, everybody looks great 2 weeks out of a show or in the gym with the tank top on. Evan Sinapani seemed to have made great progress. You think he kind of picked up some parts, but at the end of the day, kind of seemed like about the same physique.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the wow factor that we thought we were going to get based on some of the pre-contest pictures we showed. He just didn't make that big breakthrough, and he didn't seem to be even as wide. So there was not a narrowness, but there wasn't a flare to his body, and the legs didn't come out. He's obviously put the work in. It's disappointing for him, disappointing for us. The biggest disappointment for us, show after show, year after year, is Cedric McMillan. We all want him to pull it together, because there's the guy who could take the Olympia. I mean, why does he not do it? Why has he got it in the locker room? Everything's there, but show after show, we just go, we wait and wait and wait, and then it's Cedric again. I mean, it's not bad will towards him, it's goodwill. We all want him to come in and nail it.
And you can put a lot of guys in that. Lionel Biecki, a great physique. I mean, round muscle bellies, small joints, beautifully put together, but just smooth and not in contention.
And therefore, there's not a whole lot to talk about. Look, this is the Arnold Classic. We mentioned the top 4 guys. Those are the ones we're going to be talking about when we walk away. We won't be surprised if Justin gets a runner-up. He's right there. I mean, he is the future. He's the youngest at 26 years old. Dexter's the oldest at 45. We may be seeing the last time with Dexter here on this stage, and Branch Warren's a 40-year-old bodybuilder. So the future is here. It may not happen tonight with Justin, but history can potentially be made with Dexter.
Well, could we see any changes tonight, or do you think it's set in stone from here this morning?
Oh boy, I think if Cedric, if the judges had Branch ahead of Cedric this morning, and Cedric tightens up a little bit by tonight, maybe yes. Justin's new to the game, but in the shows that we have seen him in, he's never really been off, so I think it's highly unlikely that we'd see Justin come out tonight and say, oh, well, what happened? We know Dexter's not going to do that. So I think your top 4 is your top 4. However the judges have it this morning, I don't see there being much of a way to be any sort of drastic changes. As Shawn had mentioned, the conditioning with some of the other guys is so far off that there's nothing that even can be done, and it's not even like, it's not the Olympia where you have a whole day. We're talking a matter of 6-7 hours.
Give me the winner tonight.
Dexter Jackson.
Winner tonight.
Dexter Jackson.
Dexter, but I think it's closer than it'll show on the scorecards. I got a funny feeling Branch is going to be second, and I think Justin should be second at worst.
All right, you heard it from the experts here. We'll see what happens tonight. It is that close. Anything can happen tonight. Keep your eyes focused right here on the MD boards, because we are coming back with play-by-play action tonight and all the continuing coverage here at the Arnold Classic. For David, Shawn, and Peter, I'm Bob Chick, signing out.